web at www.omarfigueroa.com.
This is your 420 Radio News for Tuesday, June 25th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. Medical marijuana retail outlet bill passes Oregon House, now heads to the Senate, from OregonLive.com. The Oregon House on Monday took a major step toward legitimizing the state's booming medical cannabis industry on Monday, approving a bill that would create licenses for retail providers of the drug. House Bill 3460, narrowly approved by a 31-27 vote that fell mainly along party lines, was embraced by medical marijuana patients who have long maintained they have trouble finding reliable access to the drug. Opponents said the bill doesn't do enough to address the diversion of medical cannabis to the black market. No Republican voted in favor, and only 2 Democrats voted against the bill, which now heads to the Senate. In recent years, an industry of medical marijuana retailers has cropped up in Oregon to meet patient demand. Multnomah County authorities have largely tolerated the presence of such establishments. The number of dispensaries or medical marijuana retailers operating in Oregon is unknown, though lawmakers and law enforcement officials say it could be as high as 200. The establishments are not tracked or licensed by any government agency. Law enforcement has no clear idea how much marijuana or cash moves through these places. Michigan medical marijuana nonprofit gets $240,000 Google grant from thedailychronic.net. A Michigan medical marijuana organization has received a $240,000 grant from Google, the first medical marijuana nonprofit to receive a grant from Google Grants. The grant is an in-kind AdWords advertising allowance and other premium Google products and support that will continue for the life of the organization. The group, Michigan Compassion, says they will use the grant to promote medical marijuana awareness based on their philosophy of, quote, "We must increase awareness to increase acceptance," end quote. The award letter from Google acknowledges that Michigan Compassion is the first medical marijuana organization to receive an AdWords grant from Google Grants. Marijuana dispensaries becoming exclusive domain of the 1%, from Huffington Post. Once a business proposition that required little more than a few $1,000s and some gardening equipment, selling medical marijuana is quickly becoming a dream fit only for deep-pocketed entrepreneurs. 5 years ago, Ian Sieb helped open Colorado dispensary Denver Relief with, quote, $4,000 and a half a pound of cannabis, end quote. Sieb said he is counseling clients in Massachusetts, where only 35 dispensary licenses will be granted starting later this year, to set aside at least $2 million before even considering going into the medical marijuana industry. Connecticut will ask dispensary owners to post a $2 million bond that the state will be able to access if operations falter. Sieb is telling clients there to make sure they have at least $6 million in the bank before moving forward. When it awarded 98 licenses to open medical marijuana dispensaries 10 months ago, the state of Arizona required applicants to show $150,000 in capital. None of the new licensees interviewed by Huffington Post had any experience running a healthcare venture, and at least one was openly disdainful of marijuana as a business. Dr. C. Rise in Toddler marijuana overdoses from WNEM-TV in Michigan. Doctors at the Banner Poison and Drug Information Center are seeing a dramatic increase in the number of young children overdosing on marijuana. In the most extreme cases, doctors say toddlers have been admitted to the emergency room comatose. Dr. Frank Lavecchio, who is co-medical director at the Poison Center, said in 2012 the center saw 10 cases where young children showed signs of marijuana exposure. In the first 6 months of this year, it's already seen 10 cases. They're eating it because one of the most popular ways to consume marijuana today is in brownies, cookies, and candy. Marijuana users call them medibles. Dr. Lavecchio said, quote, "In an ideal world, we would say, make these things childproof, you know? That's a first step. That would be great," end quote. New study, Co-eds who smoke pot more likely to have sex, from thedailycaller.com. Recreational use of marijuana makes women more likely to have casual sex during their freshman year of college, a new study found. The study was authored by Robin Fielder of the Miriam's Hospital Center for Behavioral and Preventative Medicine in Rhode Island. Fielders and her team surveyed freshman girls on their sexual habits and recreational drug use each month during their first years at college. They found that respondents who smoked pot were more likely to engage in casual sex. Prior sexual relationships were an even larger predictor of sexual behavior in college, however. The study was published in the Archives of Sexual Behavior. It was funded by a $219,000 grant from the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, a government agency. That's your 420 Radio News for Tuesday, June 25th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. When we come back, we go behind the headlines to take a look at the resolution unanimously supported by the U.S. Conference of Mayors calling for an end to the federal war on marijuana and the surprising retort from the drug czar's office. You're listening to the Russ Belville Show on 420radio.org. We'll be right back.